What's up, everybody? It is your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Cafe de Paris, where I'm always going to serve you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. Big ups to all of my subscribers. I see you as family for rocking with me from the beginning when I started this journey. I appreciate your loyalty. For those of you who have just subscribed, welcome you to Cafe de Paris family. And if this is your first time viewing my content, and you like what you hear today, please make sure you subscribe, you like, and you share. For those who are interested in helping my movement, helping my brand to be able to expand, you're more than welcome to cash at me. My information will be in the box. I'm collecting proceeds because I'm trying to complete my book, Deceit and Lies Between Black Thighs and DNA, the Black woman's disease. So if you definitely contribute, it will definitely come in handy. I got some new projects that I'm starting on. So, however you choose to bless me, it's on you. $1 a month, $5, no amount is too big or too small. So anyway, moving right along, I thought it was very imperative that I did this particular content due to the fact that I'm starting to notice and observe that there are so many channels that are slowly but surely dismantling, and there's a lot of disorganization within these channels and panels, these different YouTube organizations, these different content creators that are creating their own movements and basically doing content based on things they believe in, based off of their own philosophies and theories, which all is well. But what I'm starting to notice with a lot of these black content creators, black men and black females as well, um, what I'm starting to notice is that there's a lot of structure that is lacking. There is a lack of structure, which is causing destruction. And the reason I state that is because I'm just an observer. I don't rock it. I don't rock with none of these individuals. You will not catch me on their panels. You rarely will catch me in a chat room. If you do catch me in a chat room, I'm not really going to say much. I'm just kind of an observer because I'm just sitting back and I'm analyzing and I'm looking at and studying what these individuals are doing so I know what not to do with my brand and my channel. So I just kind of, take notes and I observe and I analyze, and I look at all the flaws and all of the lack of organization and the lack of structure that is causing a lot of these panels and channels, these movements to dismantle and to divide. I'm starting to notice there's a lot of division. A lot of people who started off these content creator, these YouTube movements together, a lot of them are dividing. They're going their separate ways. People are getting let off of. They're getting kicked off the panels. They're getting kicked out of certain YouTube movements, and it's happening with black men content creators and black women content creators. I'm seeing a lot of black women sisters who all was for the same cause when they first started getting hot and popular in these YouTube streets. Slowly but surely, jealousy, envy, a lot of cattiness started erupting between a lot of these sisters in the YouTube panels. Sisters started being petty, airing each other's dirty laundry, and what started off as a good positive thing for the black community YouTube sector has now gone disarray. And again, as I stated, I noticed it with black male content creators and black female content creators. They both are doing it. And I noticed the reason why. There is so much disarray and division with these content creators in the black YouTube sector is because a lot of them are lacking order. There is no order. And whenever you don't have any order, when you have an organization or you start a movement, chaos is bound to occur. It's going to occur when there's no rules, there's no regulations, and there's a couple of things that are contributing to why there's so much destruction and so much division that is starting to occur with all of these Black YouTube sector panels. And one of the things that I have noticed that has become a significant issue within the YouTube sector is that there are too many both Black men content creators and Black female content creators. What they're doing is they're only inviting people on that think the way that they think. That is a big, huge, significant problem in these YouTube streets. People only want to bring on board who they feel shares their theories, shares their principles, shares their philosophies. They don't want anyone else coming to their panel or channel that has a difference in opinion or has a difference in how they reason or how they think. It's too many content creators that only want people to join their movement if those individuals think like they think, perceive things the way they perceive things, and believe in things the way they believe in things. And I don't know about anybody else out there, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out. Getting somebody on the same team that adopts the same morals, values, and attitudes as you is dangerous. It is very dangerous. Now, let me start off with saying what's the good part about having the same philosophies and the same values and the same theories. The good part, when you invite somebody to your movement, or invite somebody to your brand that believes in what you believes in, feels the way you feels about certain things. Y'all share the same morals, y'all share the same principles, y'all share a lot of the same type of principles, basically. And for instance, if I'm a Black woman and I have an issue with how Black men treat Black women, 9 times out of 10, if I'm going to do a panel based on how Black men don't treat Black women right, most likely I'm going to invite sisters on my panel and in my movement who feel the same exact way. Because again, I need to get individuals to help validate the point or the message that I'm trying to display to the Black community. So if that is what my brand is founded off of, I'm only going to invite Black women who share that same philosophy. And although it may be good initially, and I've been in friendships where, me and certain people, we both pretty much was on the same page about a lot of the same things. For instance, I had my past job, I had a certain individual, me and her was working together. And what made me and her bond was we both had the same common enemies within the workplace, within the organization we both was working for, which is what bonded us together. Pretty much like these YouTube streets, most people build a bond together because they pretty much hate the same people, or they hate the same philosophies, or they hate the same type of subjects. They both have a dislike for a certain thing. Usually that's what bonds or brings people together, when you both share the same issues or you both are against something. So that's what happened with me and this particular person. We bonded because we both had a common enemy, which was the politics that were being displayed on the job we were employed for at that time. So when me and this particular person bonded, at first it seemed really cool because again, we both felt the same way about a lot of things. But what became a problem, what I noticed about people who share the same philosophies and values, is that because both of you are so strong and how you feel about a specific issue, what tends to happen eventually is that sooner or later, your issues that you both are so dead set against, that is not so much an issue anymore. What tends to happen is you both end up bumping heads about a different issue that you both may have a difference in opinion about. Because the truth of the matter is, I don't care how much you and a person believe or share the same ideas, eventually you're going to disagree on something. And the problem with a lot of these movements, these YouTube panels and channels, is that everybody is okay as long as everybody is in agreement. Everybody is cool. There's no drama on the panel. There's no conflict. As long as we are all in the agreement and we all afford the same thing. But the problem is because we are so used to being on the same accord all the time, the moment that one of us has a difference in opinion, this will bring turbulence to the relationship or the movement. And I'm noticing that a lot in these YouTube streets is that everybody that was so cool about the same thing, everybody that believed in the same thing, everybody that was for bashing black men, or everybody that was for bashing black women, everybody was one crew all together, as long as they were all hating and all against the same thing. But the moment somebody has a difference in opinion, and it may not be about that, it could be about something totally different, it becomes a problem. Because again, that the people you bring into your movement, that is why you brought them onto your movement, because again, they were supporting your theories and your philosophies. But what do you do when that person does not support your theory or your philosophy, even if it's not for the same reason y'all initially started y'all movement, but it could be a different issue, or it could be something else down the line that is going to test y'all friendship. It's going to test y'all business or partnership or whatever you call it when you work with people on YouTube. Eventually, you both are going to come across a problem where both of you are not going to be eye to eye. And if both of you have this egotistical attitude, which is usually what happens, everybody that join forces when they want to develop a YouTube movement or develop a YouTube content, and everybody represents or supports that specific type of content, the problem is when you have challenges where you both don't agree on the same thing, and because y'all have always agreed, now the friendship or the bond is being tested. And what I'm starting to notice is a lot of people are flunking in these tests, because every bond, every relationship, every friendship, every marriage, every relationship has a test. And the problem is, what I'm starting to notice is that when relationships or friendships are tested in these YouTube streets, folks are not man enough or woman enough to accept each other's differences without being disrespectful to one another. Because again, we're so used to co-signing each other on the BS. And now because somebody has a difference in opinion, that what happens is it shakes up the atmosphere. Because we're so used to having people on our team saying, yeah, 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 yeah. We used to a yes man. We used to a yes woman. And the moment I say no, I disagree with that, all hell breaks loose. And a lot of this has to do with the fact that a lot of these YouTube black sector channels, they have no structure. They have no structure. They can't handle when somebody who's always co-signed on everything they've ever said, now all of a sudden disagrees. Now you think that person is challenging you. Now you think that person is trying to take over your platform. They're trying to test you, when really it has nothing to do with that. Everybody is grown. Everybody has a right to change their mind or have a difference in opinion. And you cannot get upset if people have a change of heart or look at things from a different perspective, even though they've always agreed with you the 98% of the time. Now today they don't agree. It's a problem. This comes from lack of structure, because when you have structure, you should be able to invite other people in your panel that have a difference in opinion, but at the same time, you don't let their difference in opinion affect you and threaten you to the point to where you feel like they're trying to bring havoc to your channel, because that's not always the case. You know, people just have their own opinions about things. Now, another thing that I'm starting to notice within these YouTube streets is that another thing that's causing lack of structure is that there's too many people that want to be the HBIC or the HNIC. Too many people want to be in charge. And the thing is, when you don't have structure, that means you got too many bosses and not enough Indians. I mean, too many chiefs and not enough Indians. I'm starting to notice that there's too many people that's in charge of an organization. It's too many. And the more people that you have in charge, that's going to be more conflict, because the power is not is not balanced. The authority is not balanced. There needs to be one person. It needs to be like a pyramid. One person over the organization. If you have a huge panel with like 9, 10 people, and y'all all have a movement, y'all all have a YouTube movement. If a sister has her YouTube channel based on bashing black men, you know, she don't need to have too many females in charge, because it's going to become a problem. One person is going to have to be appointed to be over that organization. But this is the problem. The person that's going to need to be appointed over is going to have to be a person that is balanced. That is balanced. You can't never place a biased person in leadership. It's not going to work. Whether if it's a biased man or a biased woman, anybody who has their own philosophies, their own theories, and their own beliefs, and they only trust how they feel, and only what they say, only what they has to say matter. They are going to bring destruction to the movement. You need somebody that's balanced. And the problem with a lot of these movements is, even if somebody is leading, eventually an Indian is going to try to challenge the chief. They're going to try to challenge them. I've seen this happen far too many times. And this is the reason why there's not any structure in the Black YouTube community sector, because too many people want to be in charge. Too many egos, too many attitudes, too much of the same thing as fire. And see, this is why, this goes back to my point when I mentioned earlier about, this is why you don't need to bring people on your brand or bring people on board your channel who think like you, who see things like you, who only believe in things like you do. Because too much of the same thing, it could be disastrous. And I don't know why, for the life of me, why people want to add people onto their movement that have the same personality they got. For instance, if I know I'm the type of female, I'm a hot-headed female, nobody cannot tell me anything. I'm very strong in my opinion, and I feel like I'm always right. The last thing I need to do is bring another sister on board, on my panel, on my channel, who has that same type of attitude. If she has that same type of personality, yeah, we may click at first because we both are in it for the same reasons. But eventually, the moment me and a sister disagree about something, it's going to be like adding fire with gasoline. And that's why I notice a lot of these YouTube panels, the reason why there's so much division among these content creators, with people that they bring on their panel, people who start off with them end up leaving them and stuff like that, because for one, you brought somebody on your panel who acts just like you. It's too many content creators that love to put people on that act just like them. Makes no sense to me. If anything, you should be striving to get somebody, bring somebody on board that is totally different from you. And guess what? You can share the same values and principles, but y'all don't need to always be on board all of the time. Because the problem is, the moment y'all have a disagreement, y'all are not going to be able to handle it. You know, if I'm a hot-head, loud mouth type of Black female, I'm going to sit there and bring another loud mouth female right on my panel, the moment me and her get in disagreement, guess what? I'm going to out-talk her. She's going to out-talk me because I put on another sister that has the same attitude and the same personality as me. Now, had I been smart and got a sister that's a little bit more laid back, a little bit more mellow, doesn't agree and co-sign with me on everything, there'll be less conflict. Believe it or not, you have less conflict with people who have their own mind, who have their own philosophies. You don't want somebody that think like you and feel how you feel and look at things the way you look at things. You're a hot head, they're a hot head. Both of y'all get into a confrontation. Neither one of y'all are going to back down. And that's not good. And this is why I try to make sure, I try to allow different personalities, different genders, different people. I don't want everybody on my panel to only believe in what I believe in, who only believe in what I say, who only go along with how I feel and what I think. Because eventually our friendship or our bond is going to be tested, because we're not going to agree on everything for the rest of our lives. So if you're so used to somebody going along with what you say and they always co-signing on the fuckery or whatever it is that you promote, the moment they don't, all hell breaks loose. And this is why it's very important that you have order in these organizations. You need to have order. You need to have you need to allow the room of people being able to have a difference in opinion without getting upset with them and without getting rid of them the moment they have a difference in opinion. Also, you need to have a balanced leader, somebody who's going to be fair, who's going to be reasonable, not somebody the moment somebody says one little thing out of pocket, he's overly abusing his authority, or she is overly abusing her authority because it's her channel, it's her panel. So the moment somebody doesn't say something she like, and it may not, and it doesn't necessarily mean somebody's being disrespectful because they don't like what you like, or they don't perceive things the way you don't perceive things. A person could, I've seen people who have politely disagreed with somebody's philosophy on their panel and was ejected because of it. I've seen this happen on a lot of women channel and a few men channel. And I'm like, wow, you can't be grown and have a mind of your own without people feeling some type of way. But these are the times that we live in. Also, it's very important that you also have order, because the moment these subscribers, which is your audience, the moment they find out there's a leak in the building, a lot of them are going to play on that. And I haven't had that problem. I haven't had that problem with my subscribers, but I've seen a lot of subscribers cause a lot of chaos because they are straddling, excuse me, they're straddling the fence. They're jumping from one channel to the next channel, telling one content creator what another content creator said, going back and forth. I mean, you have some petty grown adults that's still tattletelling. They don't know how to just go to somebody's panels, listen to what they got to say. Okay, all right, whatever. I mean, why you have to report everything? We got so much YouTube snitches, so much YouTube reporters that have to report everything. And some of the time, the stuff they report, they don't report it right. Because I could say something, but it don't mean I meant it that way. The person who's relaying what I said, they may not be relaying it in the way in which I meant it to be rephrased. But you have some content creators, they love for their subscribers to bring them beef, because the moment their subscribers come to them and say, hey, I heard old boy, I heard old girl over there talking about you, they're going in right away. They don't give it a second or third thought, because you have some people, they love conflict. So the moment somebody says something, they won't even look into it anyway. They'll take a hold of it and run with it, and they'll blast that person for like an hour on their panel, because again, some people love to bring negative attention because they want the views, they want the ratings. So a lot of them are okay with that. But this is the reason why we can't grow, we can't move ahead, we can't develop as Black men and Black women, because we lack structure. We lack a lot of structure with in which how we operate our channel. the people you bring into your channel. You can't, certain people, you can't have an open invitation for everybody. I don't care how popular they are on YouTube. And that's what's hurting a lot of people channels, because y'all are bringing people on that are popular, but the people that are popular are so disrespectful. You want to, you rather have somebody, invite somebody to your panel who has over 10,000 subscribers, who have over 15,000 subscribers, but the problem is their ego is just as big as the number of subscribers they got. So while you think you're doing your channel a good deed by bringing this popular content creator on because they got all this admiration, because they don't care what they say, they got no filter, people tend to love them. Subscribers tend to love them for the negative content that they promote. And because you want clout, or you want to increase your fan base, your subscribers base, you will bring these popular content creators that got a high percentage of subscribers. You will bring them onto your platform because you don't have enough confidence to allow your channel to grow by itself. No, you want somebody who's known for being boisterous, who's known for saying whatever the hell they want to say out their mouth. You want to put them on with what you do because you're so desperate and thirsty for subscribers that you don't care how disrespectful or ignorant they are. You just want them there because you know they're popular. And me, I would rather have somebody on my panel who's not that popular but respectful, versus bringing somebody on my content on my channel that's popular in views and have a lot of subscribers, but at the same token, I know they're disrespectful. I know they have no consideration for other people's feelings. They don't care what they say out their mouth. They don't care how they disrespect people. I'm watching from a distance how they treat their guests that come on their panel. I don't care how popular they are. I don't care if they got 500-600 subscribers in their live chat. I do not want to do business with them. Because sometimes when you try to be greedy and you want to put people on because you clout chasing or you thirsty, sometimes it backfires. It could bring more damage to your panel than good. It could bring more harm than good. You thinking bringing them over here, okay, now their subscribers is going to follow them to my channel, so now my channel could blow up and get big, where they could actually destroy your channel. They could actually sabotage it. You can't always bring the enemy in on something positive or something great you're trying to do, because the enemy is going to dismantle what you're trying to build. And it's sad that we have a lot of grown men and a lot of grown women. They cannot read in between the lines. They don't see that. You can't put everybody on just because they are big and they're what's happening right now. Because it's bound to be conflict. Because what you have to understand is, certain people, once they grow a certain audience, it does something to their character, to where they become more and more obnoxious. They become more rude. They become more disrespectful. Everybody can't handle fame. Everybody can't handle YouTube fame. That's what I'm calling it. This YouTube fame, because it's not really fame. It's just popularity. This YouTube fame, some people are not good with popularity and recognition. It gets to their head, it gets to their ego, and what happens is, um, they will get more outrageous than they've ever been before. To the point to where they don't care who they cuss out. They don't care who they yell at. They don't care who they scream at. They don't even try to be careful. I've seen some of these content creators where, they don't even try to be careful with who they address and how they address them. They got so used to saying what they want to say out their mouth. They got so used to being disrespectful. Just anything comes out. Anything goes. So, it boils down to the fact that these panels, or any organization, even if you run your own business, even if you run your own household, you have to have structure. in your household, in your business, on your YouTube channel, panels and channels. You have to have structure. If you do not have structure and you don't have rules, you don't have regulation, anything goes, you're setting yourself up for failure. Most success comes with structure. They both come hand in hand. I've never seen a person chaotic or a person with no order, a person with no discipline become successful. Most successful people have become successful because they have had structure and they have order. It's no different than you can't be a pastor over a church, but you have no structure in your own house. Your own child running wild, your own son in and out of prison. Your daughter getting knocked up by 4, 5, 6 different guys at a time, but you have the audacity to be on somebody's pulpit. How can you teach men, the people in your congregation, about having their house in order and having structure when you don't have any structure? And I noticed that with a lot of YouTube streets. I noticed that a lot of these content creators, these people that have their own channel, they are not even in order themselves. They don't even have any self-discipline. They don't care how they talk to people. They don't care what they say to people. And then they get mad when people come on their panel and act the way they act and behave the way they behave. Oh, it's okay for you to cuss people out, for you to throw people out. But the moment somebody come on your channel acting like you, it's a problem. Sometimes the vibe that you carry out is the vibe that you get back. You loud, you boisterous, you use excessive profanity, you don't care what you say. Sometimes people feel like that's the only way they can bond with you is to act like you. So then you end up getting men coming to your panel being just as loud, boisterous, and ignorant as you, or you get women that come to your panel and vice versa. Women get other women that come to the panel that are just as loud and obnoxious as them. And you wonder why there's so much conflict. And you wonder why there's so much chaos. Because you have too many people that are just alike. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm noticing that a lot with these YouTube panels. Everybody is just alike. I can't go to some of these panels and listen to people have a conversation because the problem is everybody wants to be heard. Because again, there's too many people with the same personality. I can't even hear a man give his opinion without another man trying to outtalk him because again, it's too many of the same personalities, which means if you put too many people who all love to be heard, who all love getting their point across, put 4, 5 people on the same panel that act like that, your panel is going to be a catastrophe. If you're already a loud woman and you have no filter and how you come out your mouth, you're going to put 3, 4 more females on your panel that act just like that. And you think y'all are not going to fall out? You think y'all are not going to bump heads? You sadly mistaken. That's like putting gasoline with fire. It's never good to only embrace people who think like you, who act like you, and who feel the way you feel. Because eventually it's going to become a problem. And like I stated, I've been in that situation. Me and the female was friends, and we both was just alike in a lot of ways, which is how we banded. But let me tell you something. We ended up becoming the worst of enemies too, because we both were so much alike. I'm the type of chick, I'm not going to back down. You're not going to say what you want to say out your mouth, and I'm going to stand there and take it. And she was the same way. She wasn't going to back down. She's not going to let me say what I want to say. So you could only imagine the explosion, the grenade between the both of us. And the problem is we invite too many people on that act just like us. And you wonder why your brand or your movement keeps dismantling, why people keep falling off, why you keep losing people. You know, again, it takes wisdom and knowledge to be able to decipher these things. And unfortunately, everybody don't have wisdom and knowledge. Like my grandfather used to say, common sense is not common because everybody don't have it. But anyway, y'all, this was just my opinion on, again, I feel like whatever you do, whatever organization you initiate, whatever YouTube panel you initiate, whatever, if you're a husband that's a provider over your house, you're a wife, a single mom or whatever your leadership abilities are, make sure you know how to balance your authority. Don't only invite people in your organization that believes in things the way you believe in them. It's very important that you embrace people with a difference in opinion, because it may come in handy one day. You never know. So again, I just thought it was imperative that I shared this about, not having order will lead to destruction, basically. Lack of structure will destruct. You don't have any structure, expect chaos, expect conflict, just expect it. Expect things to go in disarray. Because there's no structure. You don't have no organization. Anything goes. Nobody's not leading anything. You're just taking on people as they want to come in. You don't have no rules, you don't have no regulations, you don't have no requirements. It's a lot of organizations, these YouTube panels, they don't even have requirements anymore. They let anybody come in and they wonder how they get infiltrated and stuff like that. They don't research people, they don't check people. I mean, watch how they do their own panels, watch how they operate their own channels. And that'll give you a strong indication if you would be willing to bring a person like that in your movement. But anyway, y'all, it is what it is. I would definitely like to get y'all opinion on that. Do you feel like, people need to have more structure when it comes to operating panels, as subscribers, what are y'all perspective on that? Also, I am in process of uploading my video, Female Pedophiles. It's going to be really, really good content. So definitely make sure you hit your notification bell, because I'm in the middle of editing it and everything, because as I told y'all, I edit a lot of my own videos and things of that nature. So when you edit, it's way more time consuming, because anybody could get on a live stream and talk for hours. But for you to edit your own videos, it takes a lot of energy and it takes a lot of effort and everything. So we have to be patient when it comes to editing these videos. So anyway, y'all, it's your girl, Lady Mocha. Remember, I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth and break you off with a slice of knowledge. You be blessed.